back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am popping in to do a quick intro of the video because I started working on this upcycle back in, I want to say, early August, and here we are mid-September when you're getting the final reveal. But I recently, it was over the past week, I have just finished, you know, everything that I needed to do for this particular project. Again, this was, you'll see the video start out with me well, you probably can't tell, but I'm in Jen Restyling Fashion, her members class, and so we're talking about the project we're working on, how to cut the blazer, all of that, and what we should do in putting the last bits, our final touches on it. So I'll walk you through that, and then you'll see me making final changes, adjustments, and everything, and I'll come back to wrap up the video.
17 and a half, I make my mark here. I should end up at the same place on the other side. And yep. Let's go there. I'm gonna measure again, 17 and a half. All right, so that is the front, and then I'm going to come back up. So now I'm going to flip over the jacket.
Oh, this would be so cute as a skirt.
Oh, absolutely. You could, a skirt, you can a bustier. You can make, so that bustier that I made, if you find that didn't work out for you, we can work that out. All right, oh, my pen is empty. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go in here in the back with my...
Okay, now that I have the bottom separated, I believe what I'm going to do, what I did was pin, made sure, because this is lined, I didn't want the lining to shift. So what I think I'm gonna do real quick is actually serge all the way around the bottom. No, I'll stitch. I'll put a basting stitch in place first because I want to make sure when I attach the jacket that if I need to finish it off with a serge or something like that, you know, the previous serging stitches isn't messing with the final look. So I will do that and come back and show you what I'm thinking for attaching the sleeves. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to use sleeves from a previous pattern I think should fit fine here because I'm going to do basic sleeves because I envision wearing a t-shirt up under this. So doing basic sleeves, meaning no puff, cuff, or anything at the end because I want to be able to get in and out of it easily. But let's go ahead and do that, and I'll come back and tell you what I am planning. Okay, so I went ahead and just did a 1/4 inch basting stitch just so this wouldn't shift as I'm working with it. I actually need to do that around here. I'm gonna trim. If you can tell, I'll zoom in right here. If you can trim, because this jacket, if you can tell, I should say, this men's jacket has the padding around the shoulder, and there's a little bit more here sticking out than I need. I don't mind the padding there, but that extra white part, I'm going to go ahead and trim that out. And then I'm actually going to stitch, once I trim that out, then I'm going to base stitch this around here like I did down here, but I'll do that off camera. So here is the jacket I am going to use to connect to the blazer. So this jacket is not my size. I wasn't looking for a jacket my size. Obviously, if I did, I wouldn't have to worry about adding anything to the side seams or anything like that. But I actually wanted to do that. That's why I wasn't necessarily worried about a jacket that fit me, because I am going to cut down the side and add fabric there anyway. So if we, let me scoot this down just a bit. So the goal is, if you can tell all of the buttons in it, I love this. I love this look. Oh, okay, so here is what we're working with. So this is, the jacket needs to meet here. So can you see that? I'll zoom in if I need to, but as if you can tell, the jacket, obviously this is smaller, so I can get it to meet here. And what I am going to do is actually, I'm going to cut above this line. Yeah, I am actually going to cut above this line, and I'm actually going to cut here. Go ahead and cut around here. Yeah, I see where I want to cut this. I see the sleeves are obviously coming off, but I see exactly where I want to cut this. So let me speed this up, because I think what I'm envisioning, I'm going to separate the front from the back so I can see how much fabric I need to add on the side seams. And what I am going to do is, all I am worried about for this front is where it stops here. So this part is wider obviously than this jacket, but I just need this to meet here. And I am going to cut along the seam lines here, and all I need is for this to meet down. So let me start cutting, and then you'll kind of see where I am going here. This is quite exciting. Upcycling is definitely new to me, but the one thing about the upcycling process that I can appreciate is kind of switching things up on the fly, because I want to keep all of this at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'll speed this up, but all I'm doing, I'm going to actually cut through this whole band. I initially was going to deconstruct and take the band off, but the thing with that is the band is not long enough anyway. It's just not long enough anyway, so I would need to add fabric there anyway. So I'm just gonna cut. Actually, this might be a little bit more rogue than initially thinking, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't want to cut there because I don't need all of that. So let me put a pattern weight here, and I actually need to measure from this point right here down. So let me get some weights. That's what I want to do. I am going to, because this here I want to meet the opening. I want the openings to be even all the way down, and I only want to go right here, only right there. And you guys see me talking to myself as I'm figuring out what I want to do. So I am going to make sure this is straight. I'm making sure this is straight. And this is a pocket, if you guys, if I didn't say that, here's a pocket. So I don't want to cut into that pocket or disturb the pocket. So it's looking like I need to start here. You might not be able to see my line. And what I'm doing is making sure my ruler is even with the lines on my cutting mat. So I'm making sure that there's no crookedness or anything with the line here. And I'm just making sure everything is even.
There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Now we move. So
hopefully you can see that line I just drew here. I want to do the same thing on this side. And again, I switched this up right on the spot of what I initially was thinking here that I needed to do, or that I wanted to do. So we're going to make sure this side is even. Make sure everything is nice and flat. I'm not disturbing pockets or anything. And it's about 2 inches actually. Yep, that's it. It's just a hair under 2 inches. So I am going to go ahead and cut. All right, that and so what I'm gonna do is actually stitch this. You see how that's raw on this edge? I actually like that. Maybe that as it washes it'll continue, because there's a stitching line here, it won't fray past that, but I think that'll give it even a little bit more dimension. But I'm gonna stitch it. Now I'll go in and serge. Now I'm going to go in and serge. Now that I know where I want this piece, how I want this piece attached, I'm going to first go ahead and serge all the way around, based around the arms. So here's where I'm going. Once this is attached, right, let me get the other piece from up underneath, because I'm going to do the same thing to the back piece as well. Let's just move this out of the way. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and serge around, because now I see where how I want this to go. So now this will be even. I'm making sure the openings are even, and there's just enough. This is about, looks like almost an inch. I'm gonna put it on top of the jacket. When I get to that part, and stitch right underneath and right on top. Stitch that down. Same thing over here. But before I do that, I want to see how much room, how much of this jacket I can add to the back, and then I'll need to measure fabric that's going to fit in this open spot. Now I have some denim, plenty of denim, as a matter of fact, that I'm thinking I might want to use. And I do want to use, see, I have this denim, which is very similar, not exact to this, which is fine, because whatever I use on the side, I'm going to use for my sleeve. I also have this. So this is a little heavier. This is definitely a lot heavier than this. So I don't think I want to go this heavy of a denim. But this, and it's darker. You guys know I have a love for dark denim. I'm going to use this. So let's put this away. So I am going to use this to fill in the gap on the side and to do my sleeve. So I'm good with that. Now let's turn this over and see what we're doing to the back. All right, here's the back of the jacket. If you notice, the bottom part of the jacket has the buttons here, the tabs, which I like. The top of the jacket has this V. I'm not keeping that. I'm not even worried about having that V back there. That doesn't add anything for me. So what I am going to do, because this V is pretty much the center point of the back of this jacket, and the blazer has a seam down the back. So all I am going to do is put those over each other and see once again how far out I need to go. So I don't want to stretch it. So let's see. I'm thinking that is good. And I'm actually going to do the exact same thing. However, for the back, once I cut this in the back, I'm going to serge that, because I would have serged all around here. And I actually, for upcycling, I'm finding so far I don't like to serge my seams together but separate. In the event I have to unpick or change something in the future, I don't have to worry about unpicking serger stitches. So if I serge any pieces separate, you know, I feel good about that. But let's go ahead and measure. So we getting, that is even there. Let's get out our ruler. Again, I'm only going to that ending right there at that sleeve. Let me try to make sure this is as flat. And this is not as flat in the back, because one thing about this jacket, it's a tapered jacket. So it's tapering in a little bit. So I don't expect this to be absolutely perfect. But one thing for sure, I want to make sure my line is okay. Apologies, I think my camera cut off, but what I was saying is, again, I want to make sure my ruler is even with at least the line on my mat. And so I am going to go from here down. So I am going here. There we go. That's my front. I'm sorry, that's my back. Now I can move this out of the way and move. I'm done with the jacket for now, but these are definitely some good pieces left over that I can use for other projects, actually. So, and I just have a little bin. I have started with my scrap upcycle stuff. Okay, so now I know this is not going to fit all of the, actually I should have marked the center back, so I'm going to do that real quick. I'm just putting a little notch, fold it in half and put a notch so I know where this needs to attach. Okay, good. Now I am going to see, I'm going to go ahead and serge up here, serge my sides, serge, same thing here, up top side for the front, up top side for the fronts, and then go ahead and serge all the way around, and then base this in place, and then figure out how much I need to put on the sides, which I'll cut from this fabric, and I'll cut the sleeves from this fabric. So I will be back. So alrighty, so here is what we are working with. So I have pinned, I've serged, I've trimmed down some of that padding out of the arm, and I basted all that down. And what I have done now, since I've serged the sides and the top and the sides of the back pieces, here is what we are looking like. So when I lay these on top, that is the jacket, And then I have this amount that needs to be added. Now, I don't quite know how to figure that out. I will have a think off camera, because I know this is going to stitch to here, this will stitch to here. So there's a seam in the front of the jacket here, and that is actually matching up with where I cut. That wasn't on purpose, but that worked out, because then I'm going to add another pin right here. Actually, that worked out. I didn't plan that, but that was a nice accident. And so when I stretch this out, it looks like if I were to flatten this and make sure that that's even, if I fold that, it's not a perfect fold, but from this point to this point flat, let me just worry about that. This is what needs to be filled in, this much. So let me get a measuring tape. So and then I have to consider seam allowance too, but from here I better mark that, knowing this is here, right there. This I don't have to mark because I see the seam line there. So from here to here, I lay that flat, is actually 7 inches, and I want to do 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I will think 1/2 inch on each side, or 1/2 inch seam allowance, yeah, on each side is 1 extra inch. And then I'm gonna add, so I'm gonna cut it 8.5 inches wide. We'll see if that math works. I don't know, y'all. And then from here down, because I'm leaving this raw, so I'm leaving this here, so I'm actually going to have to add extra length, because I need to be able to fold, serge the top of the fabric and fold it here. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but if I were to measure from the point of the denim down, that's 16.5 inches. Yeah, let me write this down. So across I said 8.5 inches, and down I said 16.5 inches. But I will have to add an extra 1/2 inch, because when I add the fabric up here, I'm going to serge it across and fold it down 1/2 inch. So when I sew it together and I bring it over like this, and I can stitch it all the way across. Yeah, that is what I'm thinking. So for at least this side, that's what it's measuring. Let's see if the other side measures the same. Again, my first time doing this, so lessons will be learned. And the same thing is happening over here where that seam line is by the back side seam. That is matching up. Thank you. Whew. Thank goodness. So far so good. Okay, this is something. So I hope you guys can kind of understand what I'm doing. I know, because I'm kind of thinking this as I'm going. So, oh good, same thing. The measurement is the same. So 7 inches, I said 1/2 inch, 8, and I was adding an extra 1/2 inch on the side. And that's just to give me clearance here, because I serged that. And then down from the top to the bottom, same thing, 16.5. and I said I wanted a 1/2 inch. Oh, I need to cut it to 17. Okay, good. I'm glad I wrote that down. So it needs to be 17 inches down because I need to account for the seam allowance. So when I fold this up at the top by 1/2 inch and I stitch around, it'll be even. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and cut my fabric out. And what I'm going to do is once I have the piece cut, I'm going to sew it to the front and back piece. Then I'm going to reattach everything here so I can stitch evenly all the way across and then do my sleeves, and that should be it. Okay, once I get this attached to this, I will come back to show you how it is looking. Okay, so I have cut out everything, and I went back and just cut this just a little bit longer because I wanted to make sure my bottom, I had enough to turn under. I was a little afraid of my measurements, and you can only measure twice, 3 times, but cut once. And I didn't want anything to mess with having enough to fold up to make sure the bottom, you know, is even. Whoops, just stuck myself. But all right, so I need to go and serge all of the ends of both of these and attach. Woo, we are getting there. Okay, I have pinned everything in place first before I'm stitching it down, and I came to the table to make sure, now that I put the pieces of fabric in on the sides, and you see I went that little bit extra down, so I'm gonna, before I stitch, I'm gonna serge off what I need to serge off so I can just fold it under and stitch that down at the bottom. But yay, I am so happy this actually meets up. It actually meets up. I pinned it in the seam allowances in place to make sure that once I put everything together, it was going to meet up. So I pinned it in the back, I pinned it all on the sides to make sure once I stitch it in place, I'll be able to attach it easily to the top of the blazer. And I can. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch everything in place, 1/2 inch seam allowance. I will serge this extra off and leave enough for me to fold under so I can stitch down and have the continuous stitching line just how it's seen here. Just have that meet across. But that worked. That worked. Okay, let me go stitch everything in place and then attach to the top of the blazer, and then it's just the sleeves. Oh my gosh, so excited. Okay, so if I didn't say in the beginning, the jacket was never meant to close, which was good. But I was just about to do the sleeves. I just wanted to see how everything looked. And if you can tell, these buttons, wait, wrong side. The buttons here, there's a strip. I've seen it at Joann Fabrics that you can buy it in strips, and I feel like I want to glue that down right across here. I have a trip to Joann's to make today, so we'll see. That'll come probably after I finish recording this video. I'll pop it in if that's the case. But how about, I'm feeling like I don't want sleeves at all. You guys know I absolutely love sleeveless or short sleeves. I just had to adjust you up a little bit. And so I like, even though I did trim just a little bit off, look how that's hanging over my shoulder. And I'm thinking, okay, I think I have some either black or navy binding. Maybe I'll just add bias binding around that and leave it like that. I am liking that. And then say I have, because I am making that sweater dress from Simplicity for the subscriber pick this month. That would be so cute over this, but although I don't think that has sleeves, I'll have to double check. Okay, I'm looking at that pattern and it doesn't have sleeves. That's okay. Maybe I can adjust this to put sleeves on. I don't know. I might, because I think that will be, actually I think this vest will be so cute. And it's this pattern I'm talking about. I think that will be, it will be so cute over this. But if I don't do that, I think if for winter, when I just need a layer, I mean, because I have more than enough room to put sleeves on if I really wanted to. Let me think. I'll have to think. Because if, just for me personally, if I put sleeves on, that means the sleeves are going to start here. I still need to take it in, at least for me, my level of comfort, how I want it to look. But for a different look, I'm thinking, why not just leave it sleeveless and throw some binding on? Okay, you will see at the end what I end up doing. But yeah, I'm liking it. This is how the back is looking. I just gave her a press, but I'll give her another press. But yeah, I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Okay, you will see in the end how it all came together. All right, everybody, that is what I went through to get the look that I am rocking today. Of course, you will see pictures. Lady Dane, for those who did not catch my previous video, it is an ASMR video, so there is no talking. There is just sewing sounds and a little bit of background music. So if you are interested in that type of video, this is a free pattern. It's the Deba Topper by Itch to Stitch Patterns. I needed this piece for a trip I'll be that's coming up soon. But anyway, so here she is. I decided, as you can tell, to do binding. I really do like how this sticks out on the side, and of course I'm gonna pop up pictures. And actually I'm gonna have to move Lady Dane over here, move her over to the side so you can get a little bit of a better view, and I will take this off. So for those who might not realize, if you didn't catch it in the clips before, when I wear jackets or whatnot, I usually don't look for them to button up. That's just not a style that I typically go for. And so the blazer, it did not close all the way. The original blazer, it fit, it just didn't close, but I like the way it fit. The body of it had fit the men's blazer. And so with this particular project, it was incorporating the men's blazer, however you so choose, into a denim look. Of course, this is going in my 2024 denim collection series. I talked about that at the beginning of the year. I'll let pop up at the end of this video my playlist, so you can go back and check out everything I've made so far this year. So I am so happy I decided to stick with sleeveless. I absolutely love how this turns out, and like I said, I will pop up pictures. You all have to let me know what you think. I am going to take it off because there are a couple details I want to talk about. Again, you all know this is my second, for those who are new to the channel, I do have an Upcycle playlist that I have created. This is only my second Upcycle piece, and so I haven't done a lot, so I'm still learning what I like and how I want different things to look, and especially the item to look, the piece in the end. And so as you would have seen in the video, I did a lot of changing my mind, deciding, oh no, I think I want to do this, and let me cut it this way, things of that nature. And so that is one of the things I definitely enjoy about upcycling. This particular upcycle piece, I did not have to do any deconstructing. So snipping away at the seams. I made sure to cut where I knew certain points met. So here again, if you can tell, this area here is the seam in the jacket that meets at the, or actually that's not the right spot. Actually, I'm sorry, that, okay, that wasn't the right spot. So this area here I knew needed to meet in a certain spot. So when I attached the front to the back, it would lay how I wanted to lay it, because the women's jacket that I used was a tapered in jacket. So I knew once I started cutting that I needed to make sure that the piece that I cut into it, the fabric, would work. And so that all seemed to work. And putting the binding, I just used black binding. It's just black bias binding, cotton. Is nothing special. Got it from Joann's, and that's what I used to bind the armholes, because I really was thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna do sleeves, because it was, you know, I was thinking, oh, when I wear a t-shirt, I didn't want gather sleeves or anything like that, just something I can easily put on that I can get my arms in and out of. But when I tried it on, I was like, okay, I'm loving the sleeveless. Now I do want to do another one with sleeves, short sleeves, of course. And so I love the way it looks. I stitched, as I said, this on top, the front on top, but the back, you will notice, is stitched in all the way around. And then it goes back to the top in the, I'm not showing that very well. It goes back up in the front once it comes back around on the front side. Now I still want, I talked about these buttons, and I feel like I've seen some trim at Joann's with this design in it, like this black jewel. And I was thinking, even after I finished and tried it on, took pictures and all of that, not only do I think I want to add a strip on the side if I can find it. We'll see if I can find it. Maybe I have to go on Etsy as well. But I'm thinking I want to add a strip right there, like bling it up a little bit. I feel like she's not quite done. She's not done, but she's done. But she's not done. So I left the pockets. As you saw, the pockets are still functional. The pocket down here, highly doubt I put anything in these pockets. I really didn't need them, but I wanted them to remain in there. Let me show you the inside. So the inside, again, so when I am upcycling, I'm finding that I'm still very particular about how things are finished on the inside. The best that I can figure out an upcycle project, how to finish it on the inside where it looks clean, that's what I want. And so I did do that. I need to clip a few threads. So like I said, I'm finding that I prefer to stitch separately any seams that I bring together and then stitch down. Yes, that would take a little bit more time. But if I ever had to pick or even do anything to this, it's easier that at least the seams are all serged, but all I have to do is just unpick, and I don't have to worry about unpicking serger threads. And so from the inside, this is how she looks. She's all serged. The whole thing is serged, right? The jacket has actual flat fell seams in there. But she looks good. I love the way she looks on the inside. I absolutely love a clean finish. Now the thing, I don't know if you can tell, ever so slightly I did have to make a little pleat in the back here because there was a little bit extra back there, but that's okay. When I wear it, I mean, you can't tell that from the outside. And so yeah, she is clean, all on the serge and everything pressed all on the inside. And I just love the way she looked. I love the way it turned out. This was, and I love the way I styled it. Now granted, this is a I consider more of a fall look, but I'm in Texas and it is still 90 plus degrees, and so this will be nice in the evening. I don't know that I will run around, even though it's sleeveless. I could wear this because all I have is my Know Me 2026 tank. That's actually a dress pattern, but I modified the dress into a tank. You all know I made a million of these, but so I can definitely do this tank with this and some shorts. But I just styled it with these. This is actually Know Me both of these are the corny rainbow patterns. I'll pop it up on the screen. The cargo, the knit cargo pants, that's how I styled it, and hopefully I got a full picture of me in it. But that, and I just have on some gym shoes and whatnot on the bottom. And so yeah, that's how I styled the look. I absolutely love it. You all have to let me know what you think. She is going into the collection. I am so super pleased with her. So again, like I said, let me know what you think of how it turned out. I love it. I love it. I love the way it turned out. And again, kind of changing things on the spot, I guess, is one of those things that's really good about when you're upcycling. You kind of just let your creativity flow whilst you are, you know, in the process. So that's something I'm getting used to as well. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me know what you think. Stay tuned for Sunday. I cannot remember what is coming up, but for those who are new to the channel, I upload every Sunday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So there will be a video come Sunday. So if you like this video, you like pattern reviews, all that good stuff, go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. And I thank you all so much for tuning in today. You all have a blessed rest of your week. And any questions you have, leave them in the comment section down below. You all have a blessed one. Bye.